when one of them gets stuck inside a float tank. Oh my gosh, that sounds really scary. There is a romance category called alpha male. I feel like I'm already getting sick of romance, you guys. Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome to another video. Today is gonna be a fun one. Well, honestly, they're all pretty fun ones. I'm really excited about this video because first of all, do you see this cute little thing I'm holding? I have decided to level up my video quality in 2024. So I have purchased this cute little microphone and look, it's just this cute little furry fuzzy thing and it's so cute and I love it. And I hope that you guys are able to like hear my voice better and more clear because I've been so annoyed at like editing my past few videos, listening to the audio quality. Like my camera's not the best. I have a very cheap camera and I want to upgrade my camera as well, but that's a very expensive investment, and so I decided to just work on the audio first. But you guys don't care about that, I'm rambling. Welcome to another video. As you can see from the title, we are going to be doing another 24 hours of reading because you guys liked the last one I did so much. I decided to bring the concept back, but this time we are going to be focusing on romance books only. Because it is February, because it is the month of love, we are going to be reading lots of romances in this video. So I'm really excited. I just finished reading House of Flame and Shadow. I do have a reading vlog of my experience with that, but I always feel like after I read like a really intense fantasy, especially something like a Sarah J Maas, I just need to like calm down, read some nice cute little romances, and so this video could not come at a better time. So I am going to be doing 24 hours of reading, but similar to last time, I'm gonna be doing the timer method and not like the 24-hour straight method. I'm an adult woman. I have things that I need to do day to day. It's hard for me to just like find one day where I can do nothing at all and read. So I'm gonna be doing the timer method, which means that whenever I start reading, I start a timer, and whenever I pause to take a break, like if I have to do a chore, make food, sleep, stuff like that, then I pause the timer. And so the timer does not count any second that I'm not reading. I also find that this form of doing the 24-hour reading challenge just like gives you more content to watch as well. Like when it extends longer, I get to read more books. So I think it's a win-win. My face is very flushed today. I don't know what happened. I walked outside, I went on like a big walk, and I feel like I just got a little wind blown, but you know what? The flush kind of fits the like romance vibe, right? It's kind of like blushing. I haven't picked like every book that I'm gonna read within this 24 hours because I honestly don't know how much I'm gonna get through. The books I'm starting with, I'm actually really excited to read. I've been saving them to read for this video, and that is the Improbable Meet Cute series. I saw this the other day on Prime Reading, which is actually something that you can get for free if you have Amazon Prime, like it comes with it. So all these books were essentially free for me, which is amazing. But the Improbable Meet Cute is a series of 6 little romance novellas. The novellas are written all by like very, very popular romance authors that like I read quite a few of them and love their writing. So I was really excited about this, and I haven't seen anyone else talk about these novellas on social media, and I just feel like they need some attention. So I'm gonna talk about the specific books as I start reading them, but yeah, these are all novellas. The first one is 100 pages long, but the rest of them are only like 40 to 60 pages long, so they're perfect for just like single sitting reads. So the first one is by Christina, which is the one I'm the most excited about, The Exception to the Rule. This book is 100 pages long. It's the longest one in the series, and this is about a girl and a boy on Valentine's Day who connect by chance via email. One of them makes a typo, and so this email goes to the wrong address and they get connected by accident essentially. But it kind of becomes like just this happy mistake because they find that they really get along. They make it a tradition to just like email each other on Valentine's Day every year, until one day they start thinking, what if we met in person? Sounds like a you've got mail situation, and I think that's just like such a cute concept for a book. So yeah, that's the first book we're gonna read. That's what we'll get started with.
About to leave, already packed
I'm already laughing, and I'm not spoiling anything. This is literally the first and second page of the book, but I just saw the email that like is the one that got messed up, and it was a student trying to email a teacher just asking about like a discrepancy in their grade essentially, and the reply from either the girl or the boy, I don't know which one's which yet, so sassy. Hi C Sun, I am not Miss Soliome, I am a student. Also, you should probably sign your name at the bottom of an email to a teacher so that she knows who's emailing her. Already hilarious. Loving it so far. I have finished our first novella. It was only 100 pages long, so it was really quick to read. I'm also currently just sitting in the kitchen. I just wanted a change of scenery. Huffy has made a little snack plate. Very much like a girl dinner. Maybe he'll even offer me a bite if he's nice. We are only 45 minutes into the challenge, but I really liked this first novella. I'm giving it 4.5 stars, which is a really high rating for a little novella that's only 100 pages long. The first 50 pages of this book was actually just like all emails back and forth between our characters, so that part was just like really, really quick to read. I'm pretty sure I read the first 50% of the book in like 10 minutes maybe. Like, it was really fast. Really cute story, really predictable. It was definitely inspired by You've Got Mail. It was like a very similar story to that. So if you've seen that movie, you kind of know like where things are going. There were some sweet little details in there. I just keep saying the word cute, but that's essentially what the book was. I'm going to continue to read through the 5 other novellas. I know I'm just going to get through them really quick, and I don't want to like pause my timer and like stop reading in between all of them. So I'm just going to give you the summary to all of them now, read them all, and then tell you my thoughts about all of them, like all together when I'm done them. So the second book in the series is called Worst Wingman Ever. This is the one by Abby Jimenez. We have a girl who is missing her grandmother that just recently passed away, and then on Valentine's Day. Oh, also Huffy, all of these books are based on Valentine's Day, your favorite holiday.
I'm allergic to Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day, a card appears on this girl's windshield that wasn't actually meant for her, but it was just like misplaced on her windshield. And so she replies anyways, and this just like turns into this really sweet back and forth between two people. What if one day one of them needs to say goodbye? This one sounds really sad, actually. The third book is called Rosie and the Dreamboat. This one's by Sally Thorne. This one is about two sisters who are preparing for a Valentine's Day at the spa when one of them gets stuck inside a float tank. Oh my gosh, that sounds really scary. We've done float tanks before, and like I would not want to get stuck in one of those.
Or you just become
really relaxed.
Ascended.
So she's stuck inside a float tank. No one can get her out except maybe a firefighter with a very dreamy voice. Huffy's rolling his eyes while he's eating his girl dinner. Fourth book is called Drop, Cover, and Hold On by Jasmine Guillory. An earthquake traps a girl inside a bakery with its insufferable head baker. The fifth one is With Any Luck by Ashley Poston. We have a girl that has the absolute worst luck with dating. Everyone she dates seems to end up leaving her for their soulmates. The day before Valentine's Day, which happens to be the day of her best friend's wedding, her best friend, which is a boy, ghosts her. And she's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Like, is he mad at me? Did something happen? So she just goes back and tries retracing her steps to find him. The last one is called Royal Valentine by Sariah Wilson. We have a princess who wants to live one day as a normal person. She's like sick of the paparazzi, doesn't want to be followed around, she just wants to live normally. So on Valentine's Day, she trades places with her assistant while on a holiday so she can like go out in disguise and like act like a normal person, only to find a handsome photographer who offers to be her guide for the day. Sparks fly, but she's really not being honest about her identity. She's like stressed because her whole secret could ruin the whole thing. Which book sounds the best to you, Huffy?
There's the firefighter.
There's the firefighter who's rescuing the girl from the float tank.
That sounds ridiculous.
There's a girl that got a card, like a Valentine's Day card on her windshield that wasn't meant for her, but they start like just writing letters.
I like that one, yeah.
Aw, you're a letter writer.
Yeah.
Romantic.
I like the windshield one. Bit of an automotive theme.
Well, it's just because it's cars.
Any romances with car mechanics or that take place in like auto shops?
I'm sure we could find one.
I'll find one.
Okay. I'm about to read the windshield one now, though. So that one's Huffy's favorite premise, and that one's called Worst Wingman Ever. I'll update you when I'm done all those.
Close your eyes. get some.
Hey guys, it is a couple hours later. I just finished all of the novellas, so that's done. It's currently 6:53 p.m. and my timer is at 20:57, so we've done like just over 3 hours. Oh my gosh, I remember last time I did this 24-hour reading challenge, I was also like, why is 24 hours actually so long? Like, I forgot how long 24 hours is. I just want to do a quick recap on my thoughts on all of them. I'm gonna go from my least favorite to my favorite. My least favorite novella in this collection was Rosie and the Dreamboat, the one about the flotation tank and the firefighter. I don't know, I may be realizing now that Sally Thorne really isn't my favorite author because I didn't really like The Hating Game either. I'm not a fan of how she writes banter. Like, the main male character was just making me cringe. He was very like pet namey. He kept calling our female main character sweetheart, kiddo, stuff like that, like very like kid pet namey, and like it just made me cringe. Most of the story was just set in the float tank. He was just talking to her from the outside. I feel like because I didn't like the banter and that was the whole story, this one just did not hit for me at all. Second least favorite was Royal Valentine. This is the one about the princess that wanted to just like live a normal life. This one was just really boring for me. It was very insta-lovey. There was no like spice, and by spice I don't mean like smut, I mean like spark, I guess that's a better word for it. There was no spark for me. It was very insta-lovey. It was very boring to read. I didn't feel the oomph. I didn't feel like the zest and life in it, so not really for me either. I think Drop, Cover, and Hold On, yeah, that one would be next on my list, about the characters who were stuck in a bakery because of the earthquake. I thought this one was all right. It was very cheesy, but like it's a rom-com, like it's a romance, so it's gonna be cheesy. That being said, I think the story was cute for what it was. I really enjoyed actually the attention to detail that the writing had when they were like describing all the pastries and the flavors. I just really love food and pastries and baking, so that made me really happy. I think my biggest problem with this one is it got really like surprisingly smutty at the end, and if I'm reading a 40-page book, I want the entire book to be plot, not smut. My third favorite was With Any Luck. So we're getting into the ones that I actually like genuinely liked at this point. This just gave Hangover vibes, and I actually think, yeah, they did actually mention the Hangover in this novella, so it was very self-aware that it was the Hangover, but just more rom-com-y, like more romance and less vulgar. I liked how this one had more of a journey, like an adventure feel. We went to more different locations compared to the other short stories, and my top two honestly were really close. Like, I would say they were a close tie. I think though in second place I would say Worst Wingman Ever. This one is the one that gets the Valentine's Day card on her windshield, and this one was like hilarious. I was literally laughing out loud. I know we were talking about this and joking about this earlier, but this was actually a mechanic romance, like a handyman themed romance, and Huffy was like sitting on the couch across from me while I was reading this, and every time they mentioned like, I don't know, something funny like about mechanic romance, I was reading the quotes out loud to Huffy, and we were just like cackling and like losing it. It was really funny. But in first place, I think I did like the Exception to the Rule by Christina Lauren. This is like the You've Got Mail one with the emails, like the anonymous pen pals essentially. There's just something so cute about like anonymous letter writing. I know the concept's been done so many times before. It's just always so cute every time. I have now realized that I don't have any other romance books on my physical TBR. I guess I've read through all of them. Most of my TBR at the moment is fantasy, and there's definitely some fantasy romances in there, but at least for the beginning of this video, I want to stick with more like traditional romances, like real romances. So I'm just gonna go on Amazon right now and find some more books to load onto my Kindle so we can continue on with our romance reading. There is definitely one book I want to get into that's been on my TBR, like my Goodreads TBR for a while, and that is The 7-Year Slip. This is actually by Ashley Poston, who we already read a novella from. I've just heard so many things about this book that I've been so curious and I want to read it. So I am going to quickly purchase this for Kindle. I think this is going to be my next read, and I'm just going to find some more romances to purchase. I will see you guys when I have a couple more romances picked out. Okay, but can we just take a second to acknowledge the fact that there is a romance category called alpha male? I'm on the floor. I don't know why. You guys are also balancing on a rocking chair right now, so if there's slight movement or if you fall off, that's why. I just purchased 3 more romance books for my Kindle, so I did get the 7-Year Slip. This is the one I'm going to read next. I also got Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. This one I feel like is a little controversial. I've seen people with lots of mixed reviews about this one, but I don't know, I'm just too curious. And then I got The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, because Rebecca Yarros just always makes me cry. All of her romances are military romances. There's just something about her writing that makes me overly emotional. So these are the 3 books loaded up for me to read. I'm gonna start with 7-Year Slip and then see where we go from there. This one follows a girl who, I think she's like in the kitchen of her aunt's apartment or something, and then she sees a mysterious guy appear in the apartment. From what I've heard, there's like magical realism in this book, so her aunt's apartment is actually kind of like magical. There's some sort of time travel aspect, and this guy ends up being someone who was from 7 years ago, hence the 7-Year Slip. Sounds kind of quirky and fun. The only other book I've read by Ashley Poston, other than the novella we just read, was The Dead Romantics, which is about a girl who falls in love with a ghost. So like, it seems like Ashley Poston just likes this sort of like weird, quirky, magical realism romance stuff. We'll see how it goes. I feel like I'm already getting sick of romance, you guys, and I've only read like 3 hours of romance so far. This might be a tricky one for me to get through, but okay, let's just do it.
Say something that will make my day, 'cause these memories of her won't go away.
Good morning, guys. It's Sunday morning. I read about 6 hours yesterday, which is actually pretty good, seeing that I only started this video at 3 p.m. yesterday. So we have 18 hours left of romance books to read. I'm up to like almost page 200 in the 7-Year Slip. I'm like just over 50% of the way through, but I'll let you know what I think about it at the end. We'll see how much reading I get done today. We do have a couple things to do, like meal prepping. We're going out for brunch with Huffy's dad today, and I don't know, probably some more chores and stuff will come up, but we'll see what we get to. That's my update for now.
To know that she'd leave us out tonight, to think that she'd be the one. Whoa. Why did she go? I met her back in 2005. It was her crooked little smile that caught my eye. Time went by and it was her and I.
Good morning, friends. It is day 3 of our 24-hour romance reading marathon. This is my timer at the moment. So we've gotten to the 11-hour mark basically, which means we have read 13 hours over the past 2 days, which on one hand is not as much as I wanted to read in the past 2 days, but also seems like a lot when you look at it. I did want to get more reading done though, because today it's Monday, which means I'm starting the workday again. On like work days during weekdays, I just like don't have as much free time, obviously, because I have a job and I need to focus on my job. But I am gonna try my best to like wrap up this readathon in maybe like the next 2 days or so. I did finish 7-Year Slip yesterday. I really liked this book and I actually gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. I think this is the first book in a very long time that I have given a 5-star review for like a rom-com-y type book. The last book I think I did give a 5 stars to that was rom-com-y was Happy Place. So that is saying a lot. This was definitely one of those like trust the experience, trust the process type books for me, because when I was like 20% of the way into this book, I had already predicted what was gonna happen in the end. It just seemed very obvious, very cheesy, and I was just like screaming at the female main character because she was not like cluing things together. You know, you just get so frustrated at the main characters for like not understanding or realizing what's going on around them. I continued reading and then all of a sudden I was just like so fully invested in the story. It was so cute. It was so endearing and heartwarming and emotional. There were probably a lot of plot holes in terms of like the magic realism and the whole like time travel aspect. There were definitely some like plot holes in there if you like try and think too logically about it, but the story was just so well told and I really loved this book. I think it deserves the hype, and I was so unsure throughout like the first portion of the book. I was like, there's no way that this book is gonna be over like a 3-star, and then I ended up giving a 5-star because it was so cute. Don't read this book if you're hungry or if you don't have a snack around you, because there's a lot of like foodie things in this book, like lots of foods described very like deliciously and romantically. That is 7 Year Slip. And then I did start reading, I think I more than started reading Magnolia Parks. I don't know why the cover isn't showing up. Why isn't the cover showing up? It used to show up. Oh, there it is. Okay, that was bugging me. So I did get over 200 pages into this book. It's like just over 50%. This book was kind of a wild card for me to start. I had no intentions of reading this book because I had just heard way too many mixed reviews about it. Essentially, like before I opened this book, what I heard about it was that it was just about these like very rich, toxic people. And that's all I knew going into the book, but I was just so curious because I've heard so many people talking about this series. It kind of surprised me with how entertaining it is. I thought I would hate this book just from like seeing the way people were describing it, but I'm getting from this book, the feeling I'm getting from it is Gossip Girl, but make it British. That's probably my best way of describing this experience reading this book. It's one of those like guilty pleasure books where like you don't know why it's so entertaining, but you're just reading about these like horrible rich people who do these ridiculous, horrible things to each other, but for some reason you can't look away. Like it's just a mess, but you can't look away. And it definitely feels very like Gossip Girl era TV series. I don't know, it's just really fun. So that's Magnolia Park so far. I'm going to continue reading this whenever I can. Again, I do have to work today, but that's what I'm on. I'm just reading about toxic rich people and it's actually a really fun time.
Why did she go?
Rusty red on her shoulder, I was cleaning her shoe when it clicked on the trot over in the bright morning dew. We brushed and we braided dandelions and chewed. It was a mutual arrangement we both saw into.
Guys, officially day 4, and I think we are going to finish this 24 hours of reading romance today. I hope we are going to finish it today because I feel like my brain is just turning into mush, reading romance after romance after romance. I definitely felt pretty mushy after reading 7 Year Slip. I feel like Magnolia Parks kind of gave me a little refresher because it wasn't really romance to me. It kind of was just like dating drama, but it didn't feel romantic to me at all. I did finish Magnolia Parks. I ended up rating it a 2 stars. I know last time I was talking to you guys, I did tell you I was enjoying it, but not in the way where I was like, this is such a good book. It was kind of like guilty pleasure read. I compared it to Gossip Girl, for example, which like Gossip Girl is probably like, you know, technically not the greatest show ever made, but it's just so addicting and like you just want to see like what sorts of crazy things the characters get into, and like that's the feeling you get from reading Magnolia Parks. I thought though around I think maybe like the 60 or 70% mark of Magnolia Parks, everything just started to get very repetitive and I started getting really like frustrated at how repetitive things were getting. We just kind of had the same scenarios over and over and over again, and the drama and the drama and the drama. And it made me realize maybe stories like that are just more well suited to television, like a bingeable, addictive TV series versus a book form. I just started getting really bored of everything that was happening, but then the ending was so dramatic and pretty cliffhangery, so it kind of made me want to keep reading, which is putting me in a dilemma because I rated the book 2 stars. I've never rated a book 2 stars and then wanted to go on in the same series before, but Magnolia Parks is confusing and it's kind of doing that to me. I do think if I ever actually continue the series and pick up the next book, I'll probably read it in like smaller chunks as palate cleansers, maybe between other books. So that was Magnolia Parks. It was definitely an experience, and yeah, I don't know if I would even classify it as romance. Like I know they talked a lot about like dating and romance and stuff, and that was the main premise of it, but it didn't feel like romantic to me. It just felt like a young adult drama. But as I showed you yesterday, we have started reading The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, kind of giving me like more of a refreshing vibe as well, just because it's a different genre compared to the others. It's definitely a romance and I can see where the romance is going, but there's more aspects of like contemporary fiction as well over like just the romance. It's also a lot more of like a serious vibe versus rom-com. So it's giving me like a little bit of life back into my system. Because yeah, my brain was definitely starting to turn very, very mushy after reading like all of these rom-com type books. So The Last Letter, I don't think I actually told you guys what this book is about. My camera's about to die, so I'm gonna try and be quick with this. We have a character who's in the military. He gets a last letter from his best friend who was also in the military with him, who tells him to leave the military and go to his friend's sister, like where she lives, to like help take care of her. She's struggling. His last wish is literally just like go back to my home and take care of my family. And so we go on this very sad adventure that I hope will have somewhat of a happy ending, but knowing Rebecca Yarros, it'll be probably more of a bittersweet ending. Anyways, my camera's gonna die. I have to start work today. I'm gonna try and sneak in little reading bits throughout the day, and hopefully we finish this challenge today. Okay, my camera's gonna die. Bye!
I met an old man. I said, tell me your story. He took out a notepad and wrote something for me. He kept walking on down
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. I honestly cannot believe that my 24 hours of reading romance is finally done, because oh my gosh, I feel like my brain is literally mush. I still believe in love. Oh, dinner's ready? Did yeah, but I need to finish talking to my friends first, okay? I don't know if they heard you because now I have this fancy mic. Huffy just said skibbity toilet. I don't know what that means. My brain is mush. I don't believe in romance anymore. I got up to page 319 in, what is this called? The Last Letter. I'm at 74% in. And honestly, I don't think this book is doing it for me. It's the first Rebecca Yarros book that I've ever read that hasn't really done it for me. I've rated every single one of her other books 5 stars, and I think this one is sitting at like a 3 at the moment. We'll see what happens like at the end. Maybe something will change, but I don't know. I seriously doubt it. But what am I doing? Why am I just grabbing things? The main male character is written just like to be this like absolutely perfect man, and it's giving me the ick. I'm finding the story boring. The pacing is like really, really, really slow. I'm not connecting with the characters. They kind of feel very generic. They very much feel like romance book characters. They don't have their own personalities. They're just like literally crafted for a romance story. Not doing it for me. I am almost finished it though, so I think I will read it to the end, and I'll just let you guys know in my February monthly reading wrap up my final thoughts and like how the last 100 pages went. But yeah, it's so far it's sitting at like maybe a 3. It's just boring. I'm done reading romance, including the novellas. What was that? So we had 6 novellas and then we read 3 books after that. So that was 9 romances in 24 hours. It's funny because I feel like in 2020 when I started reading again, like getting back into it, almost everything I read was a romance. And like now I feel like I just can't read that many romances in a row. I don't know, I've changed and I need my books to be a little more exciting and more high stakes. I'm definitely going to be reading a fantasy after I finish this. That being said, that concludes our 24 hours of reading romances. I will not be doing this again until maybe next year. Should we do this again next year? Who knows? That being said, if you liked this video, please leave me a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment down below, let me know what your favorite romance book is. If you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!